Let me start off by saying this. I don't dislike Anthony Rizzo as a player. I'm not going into any of the vaccine crap because that's stuff that divides people. And that absolutely has nothing, zilch, to do about why I'm pissed off. The Yankees ideally made one move and said, that's it. That's our offseason. And it doesn't make sense. I'm going to try best as possible not to scream, not to yell, because I've done this many times. I sound like a broken record, but who knows, right? So the Yankees re-signed Anthony Rizzo to a $32 million contract over 2 years, and he has an option in his second year. Which brings up a problem, but it's not the problem that stands at this moment. If the Yankees, for some reason, and there's no point in this, but I'll talk about that in a second. If the Yankees, for some reason, trade Luke Voit and Anthony Rizzo elects next year, I'm going to go ahead and get out of my option and sign with another team that will give me more money because he's earning $16 million right now here and $16.5 last year with the Yankees and the Cubs. What's your long-term option? What is it? Move Austin Wells to first base and hope he's ready in a year? Literally, the point of this sign, the point of that sign, let me just raise my finger a little bit, and the point of that sign, just trying to do it as best as possible because, as you can tell, it's a green screen. And I apologize for all the bullshit back on this side. I can't even do it correctly. But the Yankees made one move and decided it was a complete offseason. And in terms of the fans, in terms of content creators, and I don't attack content creators a lot, but I don't understand how people accept this. I really don't. People say, oh, well, why are you guys so pissed off at the Yankees signing Rizzo? He's a good player, blah, blah, blah. First of all, he was the cheapest option. He was the lowest option the Yankees could have gotten. And there was a lot of prospects given up in that Matt Olson trade. If any of you guys did your research, there was a lot of prospects. There was a 1, there was a 3, there was a 14, and I believe there was a 6 or a 7. That's a lot. I'm not going to lie to you. But at the same time, they're not going to ask, oh, Volpe and Peraza both. I don't think so. Also, I wasn't there. But the idea of prospect hugging is so bullshit, it's not even funny. Because you're banking on potential rather than proven. And I'm not saying that's Anthony Rizzo by any stretch of imagination. But it doesn't make any sense for the Yankees to do anything before spring training. It doesn't make any sense for them to do anything the rest of the offseason. I'm sorry, it doesn't. I mean, why go out and trade for a starting pitcher? Why go out and trade Gleyber Torres or trade Luke Voit? Maybe Voit. Because obviously, in this situation, you have your first baseman. But at the same time, they probably will rotate. Luke Voit will probably be the bench first baseman. Then again, too, DJ can play some first base. And maybe they'll give Gleyber some reps because they like him for some reason, probably, right? If you're adding only 3 new players, and one of them, and I'm not going to totally rip Ward Vet. I'm not going to totally rip that because he's a good defensive catcher and he has potential. But at the same time, what did I just say? He's not proven. He has 1 year, not even a full year of major league experience. And he's not even that great of a hitter yet. He's not even a solid hitter. He hit 169 last year. So there's that. You take a look at the lineup now. And you take a look at the team from last year and now this year. Yes, you added 3 new players, right? I think you got worse. Look at third base. Josh Donaldson. He's a good hitter. He's aging. He's hitting less for average and striking out a lot more. But you could argue he hits for power. Urshela hits for contact. Urshela's a better defender by all stretch of imagination. Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. He's a contact hitter, good defender, better than Gleyber Torres in those aspects, right? But you could have went out and got Carlos Correa or Trevor Story maybe even. But the Yankees are out on those guys. And I necessarily didn't have hope that the Yankees would sign Freeman. There was hope at one time, but I'm like, it's all gone. It's all gone. And I'm going to say two things right now. And I'm not a homer for my organization that I work for or any stuff like that. But do me a favor, quit clowning on Chris Stacy of NYST because he's a real guy. And he honestly heard what he heard. He's not clickbait like some of these other mock accounts. He's not a mock account. He's a real account. So, you know what? When you rip him in your Twitter mentions, you might as well honestly mention him. You might as well tweet at him. But I know a lot of people won't do that. And there's a guy out there, by the way, name of Incarcerated Bob, who went after him. Meanwhile, he blocked the boys in the Big Apple Twitter after calling him, after Luka calling him a geek. And Luka controls the Twitter, but so soft, right? So soft, but obviously in different scenarios, blah, 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 blah. But I don't know, man. It does not make any single sense to go out there and actually make any more moves. Maybe I'm just being so down and so negative right now, or maybe I'm spoiled like some people called me on Twitter. You have an argument against me? Come out here, debate me. I go live a lot during the week. I think we're going to start some Twin Bill live episodes on NYY News TV, so you best be there because there's going to be a lot of spitting facts that a lot of people can't take. But I talked about something at the beginning of this video, and I want to bring it up right now. What a lot of people don't realize, what if the Dodgers are out on Freddie Freeman? What if they're not pursuing him at all? And it looks like that's his destination right now. But what if this happens? What if Freddie Freeman goes to the Blue Jays? And what if Kyle Schwarber goes to the Red Sox? Hold on, but you're supposed to tell me that the Yankees are a competitive team this year? So I said this. Run it back. Run it back. Because, let's be honest, and I have to be honest myself, didn't like Sanchez. Sanchez was better offensively. Sanchez was better offensively than Nordvet. Unfortunately, he did not have the work ethic or the defensive prowess to be a catcher, and he's probably more of a DH somewhere else. But that's not my concern right now. Urshela, well, he's younger. You're not paying $50 million the next 2 years for him. And he's slimmer, so he makes defensive plays more than Josh Donaldson. And Josh Donaldson will need some time at DH. So Stanton will be getting days off or getting days in the outfield. But the Yankees are not going to put him in the outfield because they're too much of scaredy cats. They coach scared. They play scared. And sometimes they play like they're 10 games up in the division, which makes no sense at all. Joey Gallo's not going to play center field. It's Aaron Judge. Really? Because Joey Gallo's, he has more speed. He's less injury prone. But we're going to go ahead and put Judge in center field. Very tough to be high on this team right now. Very tough. And listen, quit watching all these other cats. Quit listening to all these other cats. Listen to me. Listen to NYY News TV, because that's where you can get the facts. And I say that a lot in my videos, and I fucking mean it. I'm dead serious, because you guys could possibly get sucked into these hype trains, and this role player, Andrew Velasquez hype train, all this other crap on Twitter. If you're sick and tired of that, I'm actually suggesting you go over NYY News TV, because we're spitting facts. And while different people this season, and I'm predicting it this way, I would love to be wrong. I would love to be wrong. But if the Yankees are mediocre, or they're just slightly above 500, or they're in third place, and people are still worrying about hype trains and not actually talking about the real issues with the team, it's going to be me, it's going to be Luca, and a lot of other people on NYY News TV that are going to go out there and tell you the facts. And you will get tired of that stuff. You will get tired of people with these hype trains and all that stuff. I'm just going to say it right now. I mean, that's just, it's facts. It's facts. Overall, I'm just going to end it right here because I've plenty of other shit to do, and I want to get this video up. I don't dislike Anthony Rizzo as a player. He's a solid player at his age. He's a quiet leader, but with that being said, they had so many options on the table. Pete said that he heard somebody say, in terms of a source, that the Yankees were adding a big contract. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. And the biggest contract they have in terms of adding this offseason is Josh Donaldson. That's $50 million over the next 2 years. So, we'll see what happens. I will be calling most likely. I'm not going to say for sure yet, but most likely I will be calling Saturday's game. I think they face the Tigers or somebody, but Saturday's game against the Tigers, whoever they face on Saturday in terms of spring training, the 1 o'clock game, I'm calling that one. Tune in. Q&A, all that good stuff. Peace out, guys. See you later. Stay cool. And one more thing I forgot to add. Look at your lineup coming into the year. DJ, Judge, Stanton. I'm just basing it off. I'm not going to go lefty-righty. I'm not doing that. But look at the addition of Donaldson. Look at the same addition of Rizzo. And look at Falefa and Rortvedt. Freddie Freeman would probably be the guy to balance that lineup out. Because he can hit for power and he can hit for average. Anthony Rizzo, in my opinion, with all due respect, doesn't do that like Freeman does. So now you have a worse hitting catcher, better defensively, slightly better offensive player in terms of power, but he doesn't hit for average, Josh Donaldson, and then you have a contact hitter at shortstop. So, I mean, that's your lineup. That's basically a little bit of worse. But peace out, guys. See you later. Stay cool.